Hey everyone! If you're an aspiring teacher prepping for the PECT exam, you are in the right place. In this explainer, we're going to do more than just study literacy. We're actually going to build a reader from the ground up, piece by piece. So let's kick things off with, honestly, the biggest question you're going to face as a teacher. To tackle it, we're going to use this really cool metaphor. I want you to think of a skilled reader, not just as a person, but as a building. A structure that's been carefully and intentionally built. Okay, so here's the game plan. We'll start with the blueprint, then lay the foundation with sounds and letters. After that, we put up the framework, that's fluency and vocab. And finally, we get to the whole point of the building, reading comprehension. And to wrap it all up, we'll get into your teacher's toolkit. You can't build anything without a plan, right? Well, for us, the blueprint is Pennsylvania's PreK 4 learning standards for language arts. You've got to think of these standards as your architectural drawings. They lay out exactly what a student needs to be able to do in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. All right, section 2. It's time to pour the concrete and lay the foundation. And let me tell you, these skills are the absolute must-have non-negotiables. If you get this part right, the whole structure stands strong. If you don't, well, things get shaky.
Okay, so the science of reading has given us what we call the Big Five. You absolutely 100% need to know these for the PECT exam. They're like the 5 main pillars holding everything up, and they build on each other. So let's break them down one by one.
First on the list is phonemic awareness. And notice that big, bold word, spoken. This is all about sound. It's a listening skill. You could literally do it with your eyes closed. It's about a kid being able to hear and play with the individual sounds in words. So what does that actually look like? Well, it's things like blending, taking k, a, t, and putting it together to say cat. Or the opposite, segmenting, taking the word dog and breaking it into d, a, g. And then you get into the fun stuff, like deleting sounds or swapping them out. For sure, you're going to see activities like this on the test. Okay, now here's the magic trick. This is where we go from just hearing sounds to actually seeing them. Phonics is the bridge. It connects those sounds we just talked about, the phonemes, to the actual letters on the page, which we call graphemes. This is the moment reading becomes a visual thing.
And a huge part of phonics is understanding that letters are social creatures. They don't always work alone. Kids have to learn all these common combos, like digraphs, where S and H get together to make a totally new sound, sh, or blends, where S and T hang out, but you still hear both their sounds. These are patterns they have to master.
Okay, quick but super important point for the exam. Do not get these two confused. A syllable is all about sound. It's the beat you clap out in a word, like water. 2 claps, 2 syllables. But a morpheme, that's all about meaning. It's the smallest piece of a word that actually means something. In unhappiness, un means not, happy is the core idea, and ness turns it into a thing. See the difference? Sound versus meaning. All right, our foundation is solid. We've got sounds and letters locked down. Now it's time to put up the framework. This is the part of the building that really starts to give it shape and supports everything else. It connects those basic skills to real deep understanding. And that brings us to reading fluency. You can think of it as the bridge between just sounding out words and actually getting the story. You see, when a kid becomes a fluent reader, their brain doesn't have to work so hard on decoding. All that mental energy gets freed up to focus on the good stuff, what the words actually mean. And it's made up of 3 key ingredients.
First up, accuracy. It's simple, but it's everything. Are they reading the words on the page correctly? Because every little mistake is like a crack in the foundation. It makes it that much harder to build meaning.
Number 2 is rate. And let's be clear, this is not about speed reading. The goal is a smooth, natural pace, kind of like how we talk. You want to be going fast enough to keep the story moving, but not so fast that you miss all the important details along the way. And finally, number 3 is prosody. It sounds like a fancy word, but it's really just the music of reading. It's reading with expression, with feeling. It's noticing the commas and question marks, and letting your voice go up and down. Basically, it's what makes reading aloud sound like a real person talking, not a robot.
So, the other major part of our framework is vocabulary. I mean, think about it. You can be the best word decoder in the world, but if you don't know what those words mean, you're not really reading, are you? A big vocabulary is absolutely essential for strong comprehension.
And here's the thing, we can't teach kids every single word in the English language. It's impossible. So our real job is to turn them into word detectives. We have to teach them strategies, like breaking words into parts or using context clues, so they can figure out new words all by themselves.